everyone. Now we're going to read another Mulla Nusruddin tale called Tough Accounts.
Mulla Nusruddin, I hear that the governor of Akshire is a corrupt and greedy man. He must account for himself. What do you say?
The mullah knew very well that the emperor had heard of governor's great wealth and wanted it for himself.
I have never heard anything like that about the governor, he replied.
Silence! I am the emperor and I have spoken. Summons the governor to present his accounts.
The governor arrived with his account all written on a long piece of parchment. Taimur asked his scribe to read them out. The mullah could see Taimur was not really listening. He fiddled and fidgeted as they were only halfway through when Taimur yelled,
I have heard enough. This man is dishonest. All his property and possession will be taken from him and added to my treasury. And you, governor, will eat these accounts right here in my presence. I hope that your dishonesty will give you indigestion. Indigestion.
Mullah Nasruddin watched the poor man do as the emperor commanded. He chewed and swallowed until the mullah could bear it no longer and gave him some water.
You feel sorry for him, do you, Mullah? Then perhaps you could take over his job.
The mullah protested.
I know nothing about accounts, Your Majesty. I'm just a poor...
You are a judge, the emperor interrupted, and you have been a merchant and a businessman in your time. Not to mention a laborer. Of course you can do this job. I have complete faith in you.
Mullah Nasruddin could do nothing about it if he wanted to keep his head. So he took up the post. Everyone congratulated him and told him how well he had done and how honored he was. But the mullah could not forget the gleam in Taimur's eyes and the greed in his heart. And as the year came to its end, Taimur summoned the mullah to the palace to present his account.
Am I seeing things? Taimur asked, laughing loudly. Are these accounts written on pastry?
Mulla Nasruddin nodded. They are, Your Majesty.
Taimur nibbled the corner of the accounts. This is excellent, flaky pastry, he said. But why, Mullah?
And the mullah replied, because, sir, at my age, I never managed to digest parchment.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the end of our story. Bye.
The mullah knew that he also has to eat his account, the details of his money trail, and so he wrote it on the flaky pastry.
Now we're going to read another Mulla Nasruddin tale called Where It Belongs.
Mullah Nasruddin was very thirsty. He squinted into the night, trying to see if he could spot the lights of a town in the distance. But all was dark and quiet.
I hope, he thought, that I can find some water soon.
A gust of wind blew in his direction. So he pulled his cloak tightly around him and looked up at the sky. Heavy clouds kept hiding the moon and stars and telling him that the rain was sure to start soon.
Merciful Lord, he cried, I know I paid for water. I don't want to be ungrateful, but that's not what I meant.
He had hardly finished speaking when he bumped hard into what felt like a low stone wall. He fumbled at it, trying to work out what he had found.
A well, he gasped, catching hold of a rope that hung down into the water.
The mullah glanced over the wall and into the depth of the well. There, glimmering up at him, was the moon, round and fair and shining.
So there you are, the mullah yelled down. How is a traveler meant to continue his journey if you don't stay in the sky?
The mullah tied a large hook to the end of the rope and cast it into the water, swinging it this way and that to try and capture the moon. At last, the hook snagged on a rock sticking out from the side of the well.
Now I've caught you, sang the mullah in delight.
He pulled at the rope, trying his hardest to draw up the moon. At last, he gave a mighty tug, and the hook slipped off the stone and flew upward out of the well. The mullah staggered backward and fell onto the ground, his eyes closed, gasping for breath. When he opened his eyes, he saw the moon shining down on him from the great star-filled sky, just as round and fat and shiny as it had looked in the well.
Ah, thank goodness, he exclaimed. I may have had a bad fall, but at least I got the moon back in the sky where it belongs. So you see, the clouds covered the actual moon, but the moon's reflection was in the water of the well. So Mullah pulled out water from the well, which was so heavy it felt like the moon. Then he opened his eyes to the sky and saw the moon again. And so he thought he pulled the moon out of the well. I hope you liked the story. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye.